Hey team, and welcome to the podcast. I want to talk to you today about why we do what we do. I've been thinking quite a bit about this. Like, why do we actually continue to do the work? For some of us, we've actually been in the game for a long time. And for some of us, we haven't been in the game for that long, but it feels like a long time. Honestly, owning a salon, running a team, dealing with clients, staff pressures, like it's not easy. And the question that might be coming up for you is like, why keep choosing it? Why keep doing business? And you know as well as I do, like there's lots of salons out there that are shutting, that are closing, that are wrapping up. Like it's just too hard. It's too difficult. And so I want to talk to you about three, from my perspective anyway, powerful reasons why we do what we do. And I wonder what one you relate to most. And wherever you're listening to this, like, would love your feedback. Like, share with us which one of these three do you relate to most, and maybe actually all three of them resonate. I hope they do. So I think why we do what we do. The first one that comes to mind is service, and not service as like you serve people, but like the value of being in service to others. Like at the core of what you do is you make people feel good about themselves. And that might seem super simple, but I actually think it's quite profound. Not everyone in the world is wired that way. Like you only need to turn on the news and you figure out that actually a lot of people are not wired the way that you are. People don't wake up and go, how can I make someone else feel better today? But you do. And whether it's hair or whether it's skin or whether it's beauty, like whatever it is, like whatever the craft is, when someone walks out of your space feeling like the best version of themselves, I want to remind you and I want to say to you, that matters. Like that matters a lot. That's impact, that's a sense of contribution, that's purpose. It's really noble work. And I know the trade, the industry doesn't get the recognition that it possibly deserves, but I see it, and I'm not biased. Like I've been around, I've looked at, worked at, been in many industries, but I ended up here by choice. And part of that is because I resonate at such a high level with the work that you do. As the world gets faster and noisier and we all become more disconnected, what people crave more than ever before is to be seen and valued and to feel confident in themselves. And you provide that. I remember a couple of years ago in one of our family chats, there's like about 30 of us in there. One of our older cousins was turning a significant age, and I think someone posted in the chat like, "What's like the ideal dream day for you?" And she wrote down three things, and two of those involved hair and beauty, like one each. And it's just like, doesn't that say so much about what, like the place that you have in society, at least through the lens of someone's heart and how they want to spend their time? So being in service of others, I think that's one of the highest callings that there is. And I think between me, you, and all of the stress and all of the pressure is I think you're in the right place. And I think you're doing meaningful work that for the rest of your life, you can hang your hat on it and say, it really mattered. And it really, really made a difference. The flip side, of course, is that while you're helping others, like your clients, become their very best or feel their very best, something else is happening at the same time, which is the second point that I want to talk about, is really your business forces you to become a better human. And the reason it does is because, and this is what I talk to our salon mastery and boardroom CEOs about is running a team is the hardest thing that you'll ever do. Second, maybe only to parenting, and that's not a competition. Like, I don't want to get into a competition about that. But leading a team, running a team, managing a team is emotional. It's unpredictable. Your team members need things like certainty, like pay me every week the same so that I can, keep the lights on. They need significance, like, edify me, lift me up, reward me. Like, they need significance. They need novelty in their lives. And when they don't get those needs met, right, they redirect that pressure back to you. From the conversations, the one-on-ones, the leadership walks, the people that have left, the people that almost left, the people that took ages to leave, like, you've got that feedback. Like, running a team is hard work. Yeah. But that's the game. That's the game that we're in. And it's hard. But here's the truth about hardship. Hard doesn't go away. It doesn't. And we think if we sold the business, hard would go away. It just re-engineers itself in our mind or physically in our world. One or the other. Everyone's got their hard, which is why we often say choose your hard. So instead of thinking or believing that hard's going to one day go away, like I'm just going to get better people, what actually happens is if you lean into it, you actually just get better. And when you lean into it and you don't avoid the obvious, which is leading a team is difficult, like it is challenging, what happens is you build skill. And I think skill is so underrated. I don't think we talk about it enough. I think it should be like one of the main topics that we talk about at school when people get into work. It's like, what's the skill that you're building? Because every time someone builds skill, they build confidence. Because now they have something they can apply to the marketplace or people that brings them value, which is in essence exactly what you do, right? And so what used to feel overwhelming, let's just say running a team meeting used to feel overwhelming, and that was really, really hard. When you do it enough and you're conscious when you do it enough and you lean into it, you become better and it starts to feel manageable. It's not overwhelming anymore. And I often think about the metaphor of like a surfer, like in the wave, like someone that's surfing, like where I live in Wellington, like it's just over the road to the airport and there's a surf beach right there called Lyell Bay. And often I'll stop and I'll watch the surfers when I'm waiting for someone to arrive from the airport to pick them up. And I'm always fascinated. I'm watching the surfer surf the wave and it looks like, oh my gosh, like how are they doing that? Like they're doing the cut back and they're doing the, the thing and then the spin around and then the whoosh, off the top of the wave. And they just look so freaking skilled, right? Like it looks so difficult what they're doing. But actually, when you talk to surfers and when you understand what they've done is they've just lent into the skill of surfing for so long that now in the context of a challenging wave that's 5 foot tall with an offshore wind, with gravity doing this, like that complex, challenging situation actually becomes a place where they start to experience flow. It actually becomes a place where they start to experience unconsciousness. Like they don't need to think about doing the cutback. They just do it. It just happens. It's intuitive. And I think some of you listening to this will agree with me that when we lean into the hardship of leading a team, after time and skill building, you actually start to run that team meeting better. You actually start to kick off the hard conversation better. You actually start to give feedback better. You actually start to deal with someone's emotional frustration better. And I think that's really important. I think that's really important that in one hand, you've got yourself and your team helping your clients to feel extremely better about themselves, but really your team and your business are forcing you for you to become better, for you to become the best version of yourself. And I think deep down, we are all screaming out for growth. Like so much of mental health is tied up in stagnation. I don't know who I am, I don't know where I'm going, and I sure as shit don't have a plan to move today. But when you're in business, it's like, I know who I am, and I should know where I'm going, and I've got to do some stuff right now to even this out. And as a result, you become better, you become stronger, you become more refined. And I think, like I really do believe that in 6 months' time from now, your head goes onto your pillow at the end of each day a little bit better. Like there's a little bit more peace of mind. Like you are becoming the best version of yourself. Okay, number three. Let's talk about number three. This one's a little bit more personal. I think number three is really about, like, the reason why we do what we do is it's about creating a life that others don't have. And I don't mean that in a competitive way. Like, it's not about being better. But as an entrepreneur, as a salon CEO, we get to go after a life that most people won't ever get to even go after. Like we do. And some of you, like I work with many of you that are listening to this, listening to this on a Friday, and you're at the gym or at Pilates, and you're going to pick up your kids from school, and tonight you've got some friends coming around, and you're really, really excited to create an awesome experience. And more important than all of that time freedom is you actually have mental freedom, and you're not worried about the salon because you've got an empowered manager who's really, really passionate and driven to lead the salon when you're not there, and a team of people that really respect and revere you and your manager and the brand that you've created. And it's Friday. And 99% of people out there are actually in a job that they don't like, that they don't want to be in, but they have to stay there. And I think when you own a business, you're actually in the driver's seat. It's the best seat in the car to be in. Like it really is. Even if you like going on a road trip, metaphorically, the driver's seat is where it's at. That's where you want to be. And it means you can build something that's different to the regular person. But here's the deal. Here is the deal. If you want something that most people don't have, like what I just explained, like if you want to come to Bali with us in September, like if you want that, if you want to spend a week or 10 days with us, really leveling up your psychology and your business, then you have to do things that most people won't do. And I think that's important to understand. Like you've got to, if you want to have something that other people don't have, you've got to do something that other people won't do. And that's really the punchline of it. So if you want to have 6 weeks off a year, like with really high levels of peace of mind, if you want to have a fully empowered manager that represents the business like 97% as good as you do, if you want to have financial freedom, like top 10% salary in the world or in your country, if you want to own a brand that you're really proud of, that people in the marketplace revere and respect, that's not a 5 out of 10 and you're like, oh, I think I should just try and sell this thing. If you want the opposite of that, if you want a business that runs without you, whatever your version of success or aspiration or goal or vision is, first of all, you've got to get really clear on it. This is the thing that we press upon our owners the most, is that, like I said in point number one, you're already doing very purposeful, meaningful work, but that's not the end of the vision. Like, what should that purposeful, meaningful work turn into for you? What is the punchline for you? What do you get to build, create, and craft as a result of the epic services that you provide? You have to get clear on that, and you have to realize that every single service you deliver is actually building you closer towards the vision, to the thing that you don't yet have. And to not have a clear vision means that you're just going to work. You're just literally delivering a facial. You're just literally doing a cut and color. Yeah. And so my encouragement to you is that if you want to have a life and results and success that most people don't have, you have to do things that most people won't do. And the first thing that most people will never do is sit down for 3 hours in a place that's inspiring with a pen and paper and go, this is what success looks like to me. Because when you get clear about that vision, it really does day to day stop feeling like chaos. The leading of the team doesn't feel like something that's so hard. It all actually starts to feel quite purposeful. So let's wrap this up. Why do we do what we do? First of all, it's to serve other people. And I know that sounds like a bumper sticker or like something like anybody could say, like someone that makes coffee is serving other people. But when you add in what we do is what a large portion of people in society would deem as the thing that makes them feel at their best. Like it really is, right? Like, just ask my cousin. Like, she's like, the ideal day for her, the best possible day for her is spending time in your businesses. Whoever you are, she wants to be in your business. That's what she feels at her best when she experiences that. So, why do we do what we do? We serve others, we make them feel their very, very best. Secondly, we grow ourselves as a salon CEO, as a leader, into better leaders, into being better humans. Like, ultimately, that's what so much of it is about. And then last but certainly not least is we build a life on our terms. So you end up leading a life by design because you ran a business by design. And that combination is rare, but it's meaningful and it is 100% worth it. So right now, if it feels hard, if running a business, running a team, having a vision, all of the things that it feels hard, good. That means you're in the arena. That means you're doing the work. And what you're doing, it really does matter.